In May of 1718, a little over 300 years ago, a Spanish Franciscan Father dedicated a mission in Texas that history would remember as Misión San Antonio de Valero. By this act, this man founded the modern-day city of San Antonio, Texas. This Spanish friar founded our famous Alamo Mission, the Presidio San Antonio de Bexar, and he also helped to plan and construct the Acequia Madre de Valero, among his many other accomplishments. And history remembers this man of the cloth as Antonio de Olivarez, a Texas founding father. Welcome to TDC History. My name is Matias Santos Coy. I am your Texas History Ambassador. And, today, we have to talk about the man credited with establishing the first civil settlement in Texas. Join me today as I trace back the steps of Fraile Antonio de Olivarez to see how he ended up on San Antonio's front door over 3 centuries ago in our video presentation entitled Texas Founding Father.
But first, let me welcome you if this is your first time on our TDC page. You're at the right place if you love and appreciate Texas revolutionary history. We're glad you're here, so please hit the like and subscribe buttons and become part of our family. Additionally, if you don't want to miss out on any future videos, hit the bell notification button right now so you can catch all our stories. Also, please support our efforts at the TDC by purchasing cool Texas-themed merch from our online store. Check out our vast selection of colorful and vibrant, patriotic Texas-themed tees, available in several vibrant colors in both short and long sleeves. The link to our store, TDC Promo Gear, is provided in the description section. And finally, if you want to learn more about the Tejanos and their participation in our Texas Revolution, remember to order your copy of our book, Tejano Volunteer Company, Stories of Our Texas Revolution, available on Kindle, paperback, and hardcover. The link to request your book is also in the description section below. Now, let's get back to our presentation.
Welcome again to TDC History. Antonio de San Buenaventura Olivarez, better known as Antonio de Olivarez, was born in 1630 in the coastal town of Morgue in España. And, in 1665, when Olivarez was 35 years old, Antonio hitched a ride as a passenger ship headed to a whole new world, to the new Spanish Empire, on the other side of the earth. Once in the Americas, Antonio traveled to northern New Spain to serve and train at the Apostolic Convent, Santa Cruz, in Querétaro. These Catholic Spanish convents for friars were like training centers to prepare the friars in mission building, basic bookkeeping, supplies inventory and distribution, surviving out in the elements, and of course, reading and writing because everyone was expected to keep a journal. There, Olivarez received the training he needed to go on future Spanish expeditions into Texas to engage with the natives in evangelization. After that, Olivarez was nominated and chosen, along with 2 other prominent friars, to take part in an upcoming Spanish expedition planned to explore the uninhabited interior of Texas. History remembers that expedition as the Espinosa Olivarez Aguirre Entrada, or expedition, of 1709. During that expedition, the Spanish group arrived at the site of present-day San Antonio. This was the first time Antonio de Olivarez would set eyes on Yanaguana, a large Native American village. The expeditionary group was very impressed with the land and availability of water, naming the bountiful springs near the village, San Pedro Springs. The friar noted in his journal that this beautiful location would be an excellent place for a settlement. The captain, and the 2 padres, also attempted to reconnect with the Caddo Native Americans in East Texas, but that didn't go well. The important thing about this particular Spanish expedition in 1709 is that for the moment, Spanish authorities in Mexico City said, let's hold off on re-establishing the missions in East Texas, and instead, let's direct all our efforts and take a closer look at the lands along the San Antonio River. For the first time in history, the Spanish focus was on San Antonio. After returning to Querétaro from that historic expedition of 1709, Olivarez had a vision of that place by the river and felt a strong and passionate calling to return someday. From that day forward, Antonio made it his life's mission to help establish the colony that would be the first civil settlement in Texas on that beautiful, bountiful river. Eventually, his passion for this new settlement led this Franciscan father, Antonio de Olivarez, to journey back to Spain, after which he spent the next 6 years, petitioning the Viceroy of Spain, for the colonization of San Antonio de Padua in Texas. In 1716, Antonio de Olivarez wrote a letter to the Viceroy of New Spain, Baltasar de Zúñiga y Guzmán, and told him about his ideas and vision for a future mission in a future Spanish colony in Texas. He persuaded the Viceroy to consider sending families and settlers to found this colony. In the same letter, Antonio stressed that some of these families needed to be skilled in the practical arts and industries, to teach the natives all that should be required to be useful and capable citizens. It worked. An appeal, by a friar, to a viceroy, in a simple letter, paved the way for what would later become the metroplex known as San Antonio, Texas. Baltasar de Zúñiga y Guzmán then gave formal approval for Antonio's mission in late 1716. The Viceroy then assigned the responsibility for establishing that area as a Spanish colony to Martín de Alarcón, the governor of Coahuila y Texas, another Texas founding father. Now, the time has come for the founding of a great Texas city. El gobernador, Martín de Alarcón, decided to personally go on this 1718 expedition to establish a mission and a presidio on the San Antonio River. In April of 1718, history remembers that Alarcón and Olivarez organized a company of 72 persons, including soldiers, their families, a master carpenter, a master mason, a master weaver, and others. Then, on a beautiful spring morning, the expeditionary group left Coahuila, Mexico, and began their long journey. A 300-mile walk to Yanaguana. The Spanish caravan included cattle, sheep, goats, chickens, 6 droves of mules, and 548 horses. This, indeed, was a city founding entrada. This historic expedition reached the first springs of the San Antonio River, San Pedro Creek, in the current vicinity of San Pedro Park on April 25, 1718. A few days after the expeditionary group arrived, on May 1, Father Antonio de Olivarez, accompanied by Governor Martín de Alarcón, held a small ceremony near the headwaters of San Pedro Springs. They were accompanied by a small crowd of Spanish and indigenous people. Olivarez, the Franciscan friar, on that day, fulfilled his dream. He founded Misión, San Antonio de Valero, by making a mixture of mud and straw, then praying for God's blessings, and placing the straw and mud as the cornerstone of a new Spanish mission on the banks of the springs. History would remember that mission founded on May 1 as the Alamo. The place that the friar and the captain founded that first day of May in 1718, became the very first civil settlement in Texas, and a focal point of a small community that eventually grew in size and scope to become the 7th largest city in the country. The U.S. city of San Antonio, Texas. On a final note, and it's hard to believe but, on the day that Antonio de Olivarez founded his mission in 1718, Antonio was not a young, or even middle-aged Spanish Franciscan friar. History remembers that Antonio was 79 when he first saw that beautiful river at Yanaguana in 1709. And, Antonio de Olivarez was 88 years old in 1718, when he founded the first civil settlement in Texas. That's amazing. Thank you for being with us today and allowing us to bring you our video presentation entitled, Texas Founding Father. I'm Matias Santos Coy with TDC History. Thanks for watching, and remember, Texas history. Never forget.